Good morning, welcome along. Let's get a bit of the background music in. Good to have you here. It's Sunday, it's live stream time, and we're going to distract ourselves from the horrors of the footballing world by having a go at LMA Manager 2003, where football was in a better time, wasn't it? And ironically, Luton were in what is now League One, as they are again in real life. We won't talk about that too much today. Season is now done, John, yeah. Let's not talk about that. There is some good news on the footballing front though, which is that Guiseley, my new local team, have been reinstated to the Northern Premier League playoffs due to their opponents playing a suspended player, and it being proven that they'd received the email to say he was suspended. So Guiseley are now in the playoff final tomorrow and could yet get promoted to the National League North, which would be a great league to be in. Although it does look like Scunthorpe might be winning the playoffs there. They had a very good display against Chorley. Boreham Wood in the south I used to go to a lot. They won at Torquay yesterday to reach the final. So there's a lot going on. Good to have you in though. Welcome along Drop Bear. Welcome along John. Welcome along Aidan, Jambo, Rob, all of you in. Good to see you here. We are going to be playing LMA 2003. Can you give me a quick heads up as well? Just because I can't tell. Is the background noise too loud, not loud enough? The music from the game, is it too loud, not loud enough? Let me know over my voice. Do you need more, less, or none at all? What would you prefer? Nice win for Hearts yesterday, but that's yesterday's news. Yep, yesterday's football news is gone. Sounds fine to me. That's fine. It's just because it's louder in my ear than it is obviously for those of you watching, so I didn't want it to be a distraction. And if we're going to have background music in a stream for the first time, let's do it properly. And now that some of you know where the music comes from in the middle of the retro saves. 5-1 to win the league and predicted fourth, Aidan. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Boston United will be in Division 3 with us at the start of this save. Shawnee, yeah, we're doing all right. Obviously, yesterday was a difficult day. But there you go. Yeah, Aidan, you won't have even been born when this came out, would you? Good finish to the season for Northampton. No, I recognised it from somewhere, Rob. You had LMA 01 was Eat My Goal, and then you had this one in LMA 03. These were the two. Right, let's see if this works, shall we? I think we're all right. We're going to go for a new game. You get the old little clicks as well. Oh, I love this. This is just like heaven for me. So, should we have a little run through, just for those of you who were a bit young, like Aidan? Have a little run through of what the football world looked like back in 2002-03. Let's go in order. So you still had Arsenal near the top, with Villa, Birmingham, who were a decent side then, they'd just come up. Blackburn Rovers, Bolton, Charlton Athletic, remember when they were an established Premier League team? Everton, Fulham, Leeds United, expected to qualify for Europe. They'd just been to the Champions League semi-final the year before. Liverpool, City, a relegation battler, but they'd signed Nicolas Anelka after coming up under Kevin Keegan. Drop Bear would be a year old here. You don't know what you're missing. Manchester United were the favourites for the title. God, what a day that was, eh? These things just wouldn't happen anymore. Borough, established in the Premier League. Newcastle, Southampton, the year they reached the FA Cup final. Sunderland were a mid-table Premier League team. And then West Brom, West Ham, and Spurs. Not much different on that front. My piece on who I want promoted staff in the Premiership via the playoffs. Yeah. I do hope, Jambo, genuinely from obviously it depends who finishes 11th, and I know some people in here might find it difficult depending on who it is, but I do hope that two teams come up, like the playoff team comes from the Championship, because we want to see a bit of turnaround and change, don't we? Anyway, we're not going to worry about the top tier, and we're not even going to worry about my club Luton Town, who are expected to avoid relegation after promotion back to Division 2. This is before, Aidan, you want to feel old, young now. This is before the Championship League 1 and League 2 existed. This is still nationwide Division 1, 2 and 3. These are the days we're talking about here. We're going to go to Division 3 and Darlington with the expectation of reaching the playoffs. Aidan, as long as Dundee don't finish 11th. Yeah, and obviously we've got Scotty Mackin who won't want to finish 11th. Hearts won't want to finish 11th. So, not many choices there. Yeah, but you don't know who's going to come up, do you? Livingston are a shout. Falkirk made relatively hard work of Hamilton on Friday. So we're going to be Darlington. We're going to... we're obviously not going to be player one. We've got to be load FM, haven't we? So let's get this sorted. Liam, welcome in. I'm just getting used to using a controller again for it. Scotty Mac. Scotty Mac supports Ross County. Macca supports Stirling Albion. And multitasking is not my forte, as it seems. Who knew? There we go. Did you get... So, Shawnee, did you get the ads during the stream? Because basically what I do, and I've said this before, I schedule my breaks and then run ads through it. So you shouldn't get ads when you come in. So normally I'll do it. So I'll go live, put the starting soon for 3 minutes, put the ads on for 3 minutes, and then they should finish. And then I come live after it says they've finished. And then no one should get pre-roll ads for an hour when they come in. But I noticed there were a few times both Twitch and YouTube now where that's not the case. I tell you what, the YouTube ads as well. You probably noticed it if you watch YouTube for other videos and things as well. Absolutely mad now, the changes they've made. They've basically tripled the amount of ads. Lengthened the unskippable ads. I think it might backfire, unfortunately, but it's up to them. Right, game settings. We want to see the matches. Interactive TV and cup draws. We only want our own team. Return on message. Vibrate. I'll probably do need that because I won't be paying attention during the stream. I'll miss something. Welcome in, Liam. Glasgow Derby predictions. Well, to be fair, Rangers have picked up results in those, haven't they? Yeah, the YouTube ads now. So they've. It used to be you could only get 5-second unskippable ads. Then it was 20. Now it's 60, I think. And then they do this. So basically, they've just introduced this automatic ad placement thing. So where you would traditionally schedule them to go between the games and like at points where you're between things, you don't do that now. So you get the automatic ad placement, which are often anytime you take a breath, and you're getting 6 or 7 recommended per stream. Just realised unprofessionally I've left the box of tissues in the background. There you go. And the laptop as well. Who knew? Yeah, John, I thought 48 would be enough. There was a point yesterday during the games where 50 wasn't going to be enough, wasn't it? And what makes it better, John, is our travels and plans are disrupted tomorrow because Leeds United are doing a title parade. That's what you want, isn't it? Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, ultimately, it's not an exciting Glasgow derby because there's nothing in it. And again, the games today aren't great, so I'll probably be watching the snooker as always, which, what a final that's going to be. Unfortunately, I was too far back in the queue today. I didn't manage to get any tickets. I'll have one more quick look now before we start here. But unfortunately, doesn't look good. All of the non-premium seats went quick. I didn't realise last year when I just got in and got them quick how lucky I was. I must have just timed it perfectly to avoid the front of the queue. But not to be this time around. Yeah, Liam, that's the thing. There's not much fight for many things because you used to have those relegation battles to the end even when the title was settled, and you haven't got that now. Kevin Betsy's blue and white army. There you go. I tell you what though, John. Sunderland, I worry for them before the playoffs. It's a very strange strategy to take. The fact they've still finished 4th after the run they finished with tells you a lot about the championship this year. Actually, it's really low quality. There's a lot of teams at the bottom there, like Hull didn't deserve to stay up. Plymouth, if they'd given Muslich an extra month, probably would have. But there's a few teams down there that are going to be in trouble next year without a big improvement. Yeah, I've never really got the Guard of Honour thing. Right, should we play? I think we're ready to go. For those of you who are a bit younger here, you're about to witness greatness. And a voice that continues to drift. I've not remembered my drink either, so I'll have to go and get one in a couple of minutes. Southampton can still match the points record of 11, yeah, absolutely. No wonder everyone hates Rangers. Right, let's get some friendlies in. We'll go for a few non-league teams, shall we? We generally want to pick out the worst ones so we can actually win some matches. It's all about confidence, isn't it? Bath City and look at these players in non-league. Matty Duke, Nigel Clough, Burton Albion, Harkness at Chester. Always used to love him. What a player. Roger Johnson at Dagenham. Emily, there we go. No one at the top of the champ are strong enough going into next season. I think it's almost now or never for clubs like Coventry, Bristol City, or maybe even Sunderland. Yeah, it's the same as the year we went up. Like, John, to be fair, that was only 2 years ago, and people said the same thing with us in Coventry. Like, there's never going to be another chance. The championship isn't going to be this week again. And then 2 years later, we're basically here saying the same thing, aren't we? It's a very odd situation where you've just got, and it's part of the problem as well, John. I know we were an exception to that, but where you've got 3 going up and then almost automatically coming back down every year in the Premier League, you are getting, realistically, one of them might have a bad year like we have this year, but you're going to get 2 who are going to be running away among the top pack, and it's just whether anyone else can catch up with them. Brechin, Liam, yes, what a team. We could have done Brechin, actually. Now, the reason I picked Darlington, we've not got any messages yet. The reason I picked Darlington, and as you can see from the top, no cheats, no 500 million or all of that stuff, is because they've got the hero that is Neil Wainwright on the right of midfield, who we interviewed on the podcast channel and is a proper player in FM. They've got Madison, who's 33, but is a proper centre midfielder. Got a few good strikers, a pretty poor defence, and a few recognisable names. So let's get the best 11 in for now. So Conlon will be up front, but we've got 4 good strikers at the club. The rest of the team is a little bit poor. We're going to need a bit of luck with the youth team. Whether or not we'll have that, I don't know. We get a randomly generated lot each time. And then at the top, we've got a decent goalkeeper, a pretty average defence, and you can see centre-half is going to be the area for improvement straight away. Wonder what the Hearts kits will be like under Hummel again. I liked Umbro. Umbro kits were cursed for us, so happy to get rid of them. Ford in midfield is about the same as Mellenby, but he's a right winger, and he's not getting in ahead of Wainwright, is he? So it does leave us a little bit short of quality here. I won't be having a goalkeeper on the bench, so we'll go with, as it stands for now, our strongest squad is that. There's a lot of players here who we probably want transfer listed, especially some of these are a little bit older, who are never, ever going to be first team level. But to do that, we're going to need some good players in the youth team. And it doesn't really look like we've got any. There's one decent striker, but otherwise it's pretty woeful. So I don't think we're going to get much help from there. We've gone to some like sustainable brands, Reflow or something like that. I've never heard of them. Can you upgrade the facilities on that one, or is that 0405? No, so the facilities came later, Liam, but what you can do here, we'll go through the suite. You can upgrade the stadium and rebuild the stadium, or you can build a new one, obviously. And this is the game. So for those of you who like the mix of Football Manager and all the other stuff as well, you get to do your hoardings, and you'll see some old brands that have gone a little bit different in logo or gone bust since, but you get to pick your hoardings every few weeks, months, whatever. There you go, a bit of Burger King, a free advertising in here. Any of these lot want to sponsor me? You get to do your hoardings, your contracts are there as well. Is there anything else in it? Coaching staff we can do. I don't think there's any of the other off the pitch stuff in this one. It's just the stadiums and the hoardings. It's such a great game though. The reason I like this one is like 01 and 02, and then it went to 04. They all had different like user interfaces, but for me, this is the best user interface ever on a football management video game. LMA 03. I just thought it was perfect. I don't know why it's the only one they only kept for 1 year. Maybe they thought they couldn't improve it or it had certain problems, but for me, it is just the best interface there's ever been. Some cracking brands in there, Jambo. They're just the ones we've got at the minute. You'll see more as we go along. You remember Ian Clark in midfield? Why on earth would you remember Ian Clark? It's a great question. And what I've got to try and do is replicate the save on the PS2, where I'm about 7 years in the Premier League, doing pretty well. But we've got a lot of work to do. As you can see, there's not much money in the bank, so we're going to have to be busy here. The player wage budget available is 2.4. This is not like FM where you can still offer deals and that. Once you're over, you're in trouble and you have to start selling. So the first thing we're going to do is get some of the worst dross on the transfer list and hope we can sell it. So we know we've got 4 good strikers. It means we don't need this Hadland after it, so he's going to be transfer listed. Rundle is an 18-year-old, but looks like he's never going to make it, so he'll be transfer listed. Neil Wainwright will be here forever. Maddison only got 1 year on his contract, which is a worry. Clark was a starter. Mellenby was all right, as was Ford. But further down here, Kilty we can put on a loan list. Campbell we can probably transfer list. We've got to try and make some money where we can. Sheeran as well. And then defensively, transfer list, transfer list. We'll put the keeper on there as well, because I'm sure there's someone in the youth team we can promote of a similar level. So basically, for those of you who never played this game, this is your limit. So you can't have a never-ending squad or whatever. There's a certain amount of squad places. I think it was always 32, wasn't it? Let me work that out. 17, 18, 19, 20. No, 30. No, it is 32. I'm right. So 32 spaces, and you can't go beyond it. So we need to sell before we buy, and obviously financially that's the case as well. But if we can get a few off the books and bring a bit of money in, it will make that easier. We're going to try and target either loan signings, free agents, or players who are on cheaper deals at non-league clubs and try and get them in. Jambo going well with Afam Lido so far in Europe, notable points. Champions League proper back in. Beat Bayern 1-0. Lost 6-0 at Man United. How strong is your squad now if you're beating Bayern Munich? Liam got Aaron Lennon on loan. My brother got him at Aberdeen and won the league. Nice. Good luck to you with him. Let us know, by the way, if you're in the chat, how many of you played this game? Obviously, I appreciate this is going to get probably less viewers than normal because it's showing as LMA 03, so I don't show up on the Football Manager page. But I want to know how many of you played this game because it is an absolute cracker, like a proper good game. So with that done, we now need to sort out our contracts, don't we? We will think about building the stadium soon because as you can see, there is one stand, our West stand, which is significantly smaller than the rest and only seats 902. But I think 8.5 probably going to be big enough for our first season. We will keep an eye on this average attendances screen once we get going. And hopefully from there we'll be able to build up. 3 years before I was born, Aiden. Thanks for making us all feel old. Let's extend the contract of the goalkeeper, Collett. We'll continue with that. Try and add a couple of years on there if we can. We'll do the same with Maddison. Try and add a year on there. Naylor as well. Now, they're normally quite difficult to negotiate with in this save. Which is a shame, really, because I don't want to lose all of my wage budget that quickly. We're just going to offer them all the same wage, see if any of them take it. Hopefully they will. I don't think I did play it. Was at uni at the time, so probably passed me by, and I was still hooked on CMO1. I played Ultimate Soccer Manager 98, which looks kind of similar. Fair enough. That's one I've never played, you see. Oh, Liam, behave. Every Friday. On 20-0 on aggregate. Jesus. Come on, Jumbo. That's pushing it, isn't it? Right, we're offered the same wage to anyone who's going to be first team level. I don't really need to offer more than 1 year to most of them because if we can get promoted within 2 seasons, which I'm hoping to do, we're negotiating with a maximum number of players, so we can't actually do anything. Oh, the wrestling war. I thought you were poking fun at age there. That makes more sense. So basically, we're going to have to wait to get a few off the books before we can sign anyone. It's as simple as that. And if the contracts don't work out, then we'll just come back to them in a month or so's time. Let's skip ahead, get some of these lovely background musics. Yeah, I know, Jambo, but did you have the leagues loaded? Like, how on earth has that worked out? Ah, that sound. That sound. Yes, I do want to view the employees. The assistant manager, we've got 240 quid available a week, and it looks like he's the one we've got to improve. Weekly wage upgrades. That's going to cost us all of the remaining wages. Are there any other weak spots that are more important? Goalkeeping coach is not good. It's a worry, isn't it? The very poor standard of coaching we've got here. Just seeing if there's any bargains. You'd occasionally get the odd one who was much better, but without the extra money. But here, we don't appear to have been that fortunate. Saw Kevin Townsend's name flash up. Rings a bell as a former Wonder Kid. Ah, there's going to be so many names pop up in these saves. Don't you worry about that. What I'm quite worried about, though, I think this is the worst sort of staff I've ever been introduced to at the start of a save. What a time for it, eh? Oh, then we've got one of the best scouts in the world. Who knew? Commercial manager, right, that one's normally quite important, so keep an eye on them for now, but there doesn't appear to be much there. Yeah, but Liam, I don't know what any of the wrestling things mean, so... It's all alien to me. How is the bank balance looking? No loans. That's what we like to see. A little bit of loss at the moment. Even got a little overdraft going. It's all happening at Darlington. Oh, I didn't miss out. I didn't miss out. Snooker over wrestling for me any day. We've got a wonderful sport called cricket down here. Solves the problem. Hopefully with this game as well, we won't get any little glitches and lags. As Forfar have come in with 190 grand. That's what we want. Get us a bit of money. And then we need to get to a bit of transfer work. I'm trying to get these negotiations done on wages. 60 grand for Reed. Oh, we've got lots of offers. Right, 120 grand for Campbell. Kings Lynn is the biggest offer. Just poking or pipping Cove Rangers to it. Correct, Rob. Altrincham, the biggest offer for Nichols. Reed, the biggest offer is from Emily, just over our Dalbeatty star. Scarborough in for Porter, the backup keeper. And loan listed, we've got a few there. We've also got a big offer for Hodgson we need to be aware of. Morton and Northwich Victoria want Kelty. We'll go... Yeah, go to Morton. Go on. Unfortunately, this wasn't the most... I suppose it's not that slow a process, is it? But get a bit of a tune on while you're doing it. So as you can see, pretty much everyone has rejected the contracts, which is normal policy here. We're going to come back to most of the contract offers though, because I really want to get some transfer work done. Don't talk about cricket after yesterday. To be fair, I'd rather talk about that than football. Yeah, but Liam, it's not the fact... That's not escaping reality, though. Like, I would have no problem if the wrestling was sold as that. But what's he doing on sports channels? It's not a sport. As you say, it's that. It's a film. It's a movie. It's a TV show. It's not a sport. Could we see Ross County be Partick in the playoffs again? You wouldn't rule it out, would you, Jambo, at this point? Right, shall we see who's out of contract at the minute? And also, we'll go... We want minimum of 4-star at least, don't we? And I tell you what, shall we also do... Let's be realistic here. If we do English-based, and we'll start... Let's have a look at the Premier League. We've got Nick Chadwick, but he's under 24, so we wouldn't be able to afford it because you still have to pay the compensation. We went from 113 for 3 to 143 chasing 268. There's nothing like a good old batting collapse, is there? He's still too young yet. So all of those are young enough that we won't be able to get away with it. because we'll have to pay the compensation. 27-year-old Camera at Wolves is one we could get. I actually think he's much better than the one we've got in bets. No, very, very little in it. And the rest are all too young. And Camera wants massive wages. So definitely not signing him. Let's go down to Division 2. They're not good enough. Division 3, nobody there. Right, so what we're going to do then is look at non-league in England. Should we do transfer listed first, just in case? Bobby Petty at Hull City. Margate have gone in with 200 grand. We will transfer list him. Oh, it's Jason Sindel. Oh, God. 24-year-old fullback. Doesn't that make you feel old? Zaya ranking, but again, the transfer fee's a little bit much for us there. I don't think we're going to be able to go for much on that front. The Voss at centre-half from Wigan is a potential option. Class of sport as there is athleticism involved. But there's athleticism in thriller movies, hard-working, stunts and all of that stuff. Some stage performances with dancing. That's athleticism. Lee Hodges, wonder kid back in the day. Yeah, I'm going to try and avoid the people who I know would have been great. I don't know why Lee Bell's transfer listed there, but I'll keep an eye on it. It's a known fact other than football and rugby. Wrestling burn the most calories at 15 minutes each. Yeah, but then a lot of dancing burns an awful lot of calories. Doesn't make it a sport. Now, I think we're probably getting to people we can't afford here. Jacobs is 33. I want to try and avoid the old boys if we can because, look, in the long term, we're going to have to try and build a side. And most of the lower value ones that are decent are over 30 here, which is a problem. There are some names about though, aren't there? Go on, Premier League to finish us off. Ray Party Parlour, 5.5 million, bit too much. Yeah, we're not getting any of them. We're out of our transfer budget already. Loan listed. How realistic are we going to be? Buxton given a 94th-minute penalty. Get Bobby Taylor in. Oh, there's so many names I want to get in. Gordon Greer. Now, again, you've got to see our available wage budget is 2,410. All of these players earning nearly that, and we need more than one player, so we can't commit to any of these. Lee Trundle's on the loan list at Wrexham, you idiots. What are you doing? I mean, fortunately, striker is not a position we can sign players because it's the only area we're pretty strong. We're working up in wage budget order. I'm trying to find some decent defenders, which is proving a pretty hard task at the minute. Neil Austin at Barnsley is one, but again, it's half the wage budget. So normally the trade-off we make is to go for the higher transfer fees in Scotland or non-league, but then get lower wages with it, which is exactly what we're going to do, Aiden. We will have a look at Scotland. Chris Commons is listed as a left-back there. There you go. It's an interesting one to start the day. Richard Paquette. Yeah, another man we interviewed on the podcast. What a lovely bloke. Very good player as well. People forget that, like, obviously, because he had that moment, was it Hammond and Waterlooville, wasn't it, at Liverpool? But he played in, like, League One playoff finals for QPR and things. He'd had a good career. Right, let's go and do this properly then. Non-league. Oh, should we check free agents as well? Let's check free agents. No players found. There are some, but they're really low quality. But then at 17, you could argue these are players that will improve. And if you can get them for cheap enough, maybe they're worth adding to the squad. So we might just put in a cheeky little bid of 300 quid a week for some of these. And see how we go. Let's try that. And then we're going to go not listed, non-league players, up to 4-star, maybe even 5. Because there are some good players about. And as you can see, a couple of them are a little bit old, but there's a few more that might be able to help us. Where's Dundee in the league and is Clyde Bank in the game? Oh, you're asking questions now. Let's have a look. Scotland. Scotland, we have got Brecon in Division 2. Those were the days. Division 1. Dundee must be in the top tier then. Yes, you got Dundee and Dundee United in the top tier. Dundee squad. Oh, this is when Dundee were great, wasn't it? Caballero and Nacho Novo up front. Gavin Ray in midfield. This is when they had a proper good side. So yeah, it was the glory years. Oh, Kishnashvili. There's a name I'd completely forgotten existed. What a man he was. Zurab Kishnashvili, my words. The glory days. Right, there's a player there at Northwich Victoria who's not bad. I think asking for players who are 5 is probably pushing it. I think we might have to go down to 4. And try and sign somewhere we're just below 5 perhaps. Because look, we're already up to 120 grand there. And the only good ones have been mid-30s. It's not looking great. Maybe I'd take a gamble on one of the old boys for a year. I don't know. So you've got a couple of decent younger ones there. Bloomer. I mean, you look at our centre-halves at the moment. They're not even... But I keep saying stars. 4 bars out of 10. Excuse me. Oh, so Clydebank would have been the year before, Aiden. So yeah, we will be improving the defence no matter what. You can see there, like, Foreign's 28. So let's just shortlist a few of these. I mean, at 31, Harkness isn't that old, is he? We might be able to get a year or 2 out of him. Centre half is definitely the priority, though. So we'll look at Baker. Fitzhenry's not bad at Lee RMI. And then we're probably getting towards the top end of the value range there. You can see White at Yeovil's not bad. Bobby Dixon at Whitby, that'll do. Just got a youth prospect at Aberystwyth named Gilles Conception, who's Filipino, main nationality. Australian and Welsh as secondary ones. Come through the academy, that's class. That is definitely out there. City still at Main Road, yep. Still at Main Road, no 203. The RMI, classic name. Yeah, what a name. Rooney's there, Dagenham. Our right back was pretty good though, wasn't he? Although we could switch Liddell over to left back. The problem so far is that we've only really got the transfer value to sign 2 of them. Let's also have a look at Scottish then. Should we look at transfer listed first? 36-year-old Boyd. Bearson's 34. Smith at Ibs 31. But again, it's going to be wages with those, isn't it? Hesse's one I always used to like signing, but I think he might have just moved there. Because he's one who normally starts at like Chester, I think. And I've also got to find a centre midfielder from somewhere, which we haven't really got to yet. But let's start with the centre halves. I mean, Bell is transfer listed, but it would be all of our budget at the minute. I have one of their kits. My granddad bought it for me for Christmas. Wow. Was there a particular reason for it? Was he a fan or something? Or did he live near it? Or what was the reason for that one? Or was it just a random gift? Right, defenders. What do you think we should go for here? Harkness, value for money wise, is the best. Just a team local to Bolton? No, it's good as reason as any, isn't it? So Harkness is the best in terms of value for money short term, but he's 31 already. We probably won't make any money back on him. But he is versatile and he is quality. Woodward is the best, but it would be nearly all the budget. Really, I want to get 2. So do I then look at like a Dixon or a White? And how much are we going to have to pay over the odds to get them? I've just realised that Bloomer's on loan there, so we're not going to get him. Petty at Hull is okay and he's transfer listed, so it might be an easy option to start with. But I think Harkness, Exeter are already in for him, so we'll try and outbid them by 10 grand. But then that defeats the object of buying a cheaper player, doesn't it? So it looks like probably White at Yeovil is the best value for money. We could try Foran at Telford. No, won't sell him in the first season of his new contract. Fair enough. Craig Gordon, would he be no 203? Don't know. What club would he be at then? Let's have a look. Hearts, it says. So we'll have a look, see if he's there. I guess the value of Petty is that we can get him for his value. But whether that's going to be good enough, I don't know. So we can't get Fitzhenry. Baker we might be able to get. And Petty we know we probably can. Midfielders. I mean, Janssen is decent. And Bell's on too much money. This is not a good... I remember there being more than this. I'm trying to think how I found them before. Maybe I need to be a bit more prudent financially. So let's do age. Should we do 16 to 25? Scotty Mac, good morning. Good to have you in. We'll go for 5-star. Max value of 500 grand. Let's go for a centre mid. Let's just try and narrow it down. Focus on what we need. No players found. That's not a good sign. What about 21 to 30? No players found. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got transfer listed on. That's my fault. Still no players found. Now we have. Right. Morgan at Doncaster. Or Carey at Chester. But they're both worth a lot of money. Scotty Mac. I've said it already in this stream. Probably in terms of a management simulator, my favourite ever user interface. I lost so many hours to this game. We might have to go down to 4 here. Michael Mackindo, bloody hell. Dave from Dover is pretty versatile. And pretty cheap. The problem is we don't know how much we're going to get out of the deals of players we're selling. We'll try 21 to 30 as well, just in case there's a brilliant 26-year-old somewhere. Doncaster again. Farnborough's Watson, okay. If we can add a bit of versatility while doing so, then brilliant. I don't think there's much else we can do there. Let's just skip ahead a day or two. Keep an eye on the hoardings and all of that sort of stuff as well. So far, a frustrating start, though. Oh, that's a big offer. That's a huge decision. Maddison is one of the 2 best players. He's a player who gives us a chance of getting promoted this year. He's that good. But 800 grand for a 33-year-old with 1 year left on his contract is a huge bid. It could fund 2 centre midfielders. I'm going to stew on that one for a couple of days. I'm only coming back daily at the moment because I'm waiting on contract news and that. Otherwise, we'll just skip ahead in future. No! Where did Ross County get 3 million quid from? Scotty Mac, what's going on here? 3.1. Neil Wainwright is going nowhere. You can offer whatever you want. Horvath's rejected contract terms. Had a whip round yesterday. There you go. Right, let's play a game. We are the better of these two teams. You can see the tactic that is set up automatically for the team. I'm not sure we're that quick. We can focus going forward a bit because that's where our talents are. Do we want to go long? What sort of ability have we got? He's not great in the air, Conlon, but he's quick. And the same for Naylor as well. He's actually better off the left side, weirdly. Oh, as is Conlon. They're both left-sided forwards. How bizarre. So we'll go fairly direct to them. We'll definitely distribute wide because, you know, we've got Neil Wainwright after all. And do we want to go short or long? I think that's all right. It's our strongest squad on paper, which doesn't say much for our ability at the minute. Let's see how it copes with this one. So you do have the options where you can either watch the match or not watch it. For this very first one, we'll do watch it, but normally I would do don't bother. And then I just watch the highlights and interactive ones. So for some of you younger folk here, you're about to get an absolutely mind-blowing experience. And the highlights obviously used to have the Lineker and Hansen commentary on, didn't it? Yesterday's game was dire. Hearts played well with two wingers feeding Shankland. Weaved the ball up to White for him to chase constantly. Really need a few seasons in the Championship back to complete, yeah. Jobby. To be honest, it's not unlucky. It's not unlucky. I said it when it went to 5-1, and at the time, Pompey had just equalised and were pressing. I actually would have felt guilty if we stayed up on yesterday's performance, because if that's what you can produce when it really matters, then you have to be concerned, don't you? 4-4-2 for Darlington and 4-4-2 for Altrincham. Let's go and have a look at the first half. These are the days. We can choose if we want the ball trail as well. Just so it's easier to follow. We'll work that out in a second. So if you want the ball trail, I'll show you the difference. There you go. What you used to get so you could follow it. It's a bit of a kick clash, isn't it? Get it to Wainwright. See, I never used to watch this. I used to just watch the highlights after. We'll show you both. I'll show you like 15 minutes of this and then I'll show you the highlights at the end as well. So you can see the beauty of both. Good fun, Liam, eh? Have a shot. Oh, great save. A reset for Luton as well. Yeah, I mean, look. There are 4 or 5 players who wanted to go last summer that we couldn't get out and replace in time. Our January recruitment was really good, but our summer recruitment last year was awful. There's going to be 4 or 5 that we want to sell. There's going to be 4 or 5 that want to go. It's going to be a huge reset for the club. What's going to be interesting is to see what the season ticket prices are, because they're obviously struggling to sell out towards the end of the season. And if they try and charge anywhere near 470 quid again, they're going to be in trouble in a deprived area. So I'm intrigued. I'll keep an eye on Guiseley tomorrow, and then I've got a big decision to make if Guiseley go up and Luton charge extortionate ticket prices. Because obviously I have to factor in an extra 40, 50 quid travel each time. I used to like it, Rob, to be honest. What we'll do now then, as this is just a friendly, let's skip the match. Ironically, Scotty Matt, the new stadium has just started being constructed this summer by the people who did the Barcelona reconstruction. Chris, it is a great game, isn't it? Absolutely great game. Doesn't look like we've got much of a goal threat in a minute. So I'm just doing this so I can then show you what the highlights look like as well, for those of you that have never seen the game. And at least it looks like there is at least one now. But yeah, Chris, I said this twice already in this stream. I think this game had the best user interface of any management game ever. And obviously, here, hopefully, Scotty Matt will have a new stadium with Darlington as well. Could do with some new transfers as well. The problem is, because we've sent the old PlayStation off to be repaired, can't actually go back and see who I signed in that save. to make it fun. Naylor's got a couple of goals there. And now we're going through to Football 1, the interactive TV screen. Now, I used to love this screen because what you could do is when all the leagues were in action, you could see the results from every league. So it was like a sort of Soccer Saturday roundup at the end. You can obviously see the events of your game, but you can do it with everyone else's as well. And then you could see all of the league tables going across. So you can see there. It's one of the things I find hardest in FM is you don't really have a snapshot screen where you can keep up to date with everything. I know they've got that one home screen where you can add like 9 tables or whatever, but you've not got anywhere where you can just go, here's all the results, here's all the tables from all the games, and all the leagues this weekend. And that's what I used to love about this, is it was so easy to do. So you could say, oh, I'm just going to go and look at the Luton score. I'm just going to go and look at how the Premier League table is. And I'll show you the highlights as well. And you should be able to hear it. The Lineker and Hansen commentary as well. We'll just do it for this one so you know what to expect. And then I guess for you guys, as we go along, you can choose what you like better.
Today, Alan lapped up the sun and the football to bring you today's highlights.
Here we go.
So, first of all, ball into feet. Shrugs off the challenge. Nice anticipation.
It's the one we saw.
We pick it up again. Corner comes in.
Oh, we saw this. This was headed off the line, wasn't it? No, no, no.
Midway through the half. And it's easy to deal with.
Tell you what, their keeper had a blinder, didn't he?
Just a little too much lift in the shot.
And this, look, we're what, 20 years on with FM now? And still no physical commentary. And this was just so simple.
Good head on. Rebounds off the upright.
I just love the fact that, you, like, the draws, for those of you who haven't seen it as well, like the cup draws, you'd physically get them read out. It was Ray Stubbs, wasn't it, I think, who used to do them. We'll see if we get one of them anytime soon. I don't actually remember what minute the goals were. I need to amend these highlights for the future.
Late in the first half. Gets a yard of space for himself. Easy save.
And you can change like the camera angles and all of that as well. Just love it so much.
He's got time, he's got space.
We will change it to just the goals in the future. Oh, lovely finish. Keeper should have got a stronger hand on that.
Nice nod down. Goes to play.
Definitely some signs the wide play was working.
Great save.
Let's skip to the next highlight there.
And that's a comfortable save.
When was the goal? It was like 70, wasn't it? So it might be this one. That's the view. First one save, rebound, in you go.
2-0.
Lovely stuff. So that's it. You get the match or you get the highlights. I used to just do the highlights like that.
Good win today for.
And you got the lovely little bits of commentary and that with it as well. But yeah, really interactive screen. This was great fun. Let's disconnect and now get a squad that can compete as well. If you never played this game, I would implore you to give it a try. And even this, like, you got the little snapshots from the footballing world as well. That's something that has crept into FM in recent years on the top loading bar. Yeah, I figured they might reject our offer there. You can also, in this game as well, I know we haven't gone to it yet, you can manage bits of training. You can look at all of the tables and clubs and that here. Oh, sorry, Aiden asked about Craig Gordon, didn't he, from Scotland? Morton in Division 3 there. What about Premiership Hearts? Is he in the game yet? Yes, he is. He's the sub-keeper there. Sitting on the bench next to Robbie Nielsen. The best bit about he's doing up the stadium. Oh, I love the hoardings as well, Chris. I love picking the advertising hoardings. Can't be turning down an extra 20 grand, can we? Oh, he was transfer listed. Oh, it's because Margate have outbid us. I think we might have to go and look at the loan list here because I think it's the only way we could get players in. Maybe we can look elsewhere in the footballing world. Go 5-star. We need, basically, we're desperate for centre halves and centre midfielders. We've got a competitive team once we do that. It's all about the wages though, because we've only got £2.5 grand available, and you can see there, we're talking £1 a week already. You still know the cheats in this game. Go on, what's that? I know what the actual cheat code. The cheat code to give yourself 500 million is King Midas, isn't it? But there's no value in doing that. I'm going to try and loan this guy because he can play anywhere at the back. He seems decent. 960 quid is no value really, is it? So let's try midfielder as well. 24-year-old who can play anywhere across there. Obviously, when I got this game at first, I was, what, 9 years old? So I would have used King Midas back then. But no, I never used to do him other than that. I think we might go for Dobes as well. We'll get him on the loan, on the list. Moneyball is one. I see, I don't know what any of the others do. I only ever used to do King Midas, which was 500 million in the bank to start. Morning, Macca. How are we? LMA, I love this game, Macca. I love it. We're having a nostalgia road trip today. I might have to do a YouTube save with it as well. The problem is now I've started playing it, I don't want to play any of the other games. Oh, it's getting even bigger. Hadland's going to forfeit. That's a good deal for us. Bit of money in the bank. Kelty off the wage bill. Nichols to Altrincham. Did we get an offer for Reed? Porter's going to Scarborough. Collett's accepted his new contract. That's better than normal. We'll go 320 there. We'll try and edge up some of these. It is Macca, yeah. So basically, once you've got this PS2 emulator, you can use your actual disc. So I'm using my actual LMA Manager 2003 disc, but I'm using it on the emulator. We might do a bit of PES Master League in the future as well. So there was a new offer for Reed. Let's have a look at him. Oh, it's only £5 grand's difference. I'm not going to hold up the deal for that. This is the one I've really got to worry about. It's such a good deal for a 33-year-old with 1 year left, but I feel like it's a gamble to possibly lose out on promotion. I don't think we can do it. Right, now some of the negotiations are done. Can we now make an offer here? We can. So let me go back to the loan listed, which was midfielder, centre, and 5-star, wasn't it? I keep saying star. I can only apologise. That's going to take months to get out of the habit of. And maybe we just have to accept that we're on loan deals now. Our available wage budget, right, so it's 2,400 at a minute. Let's see what it is tomorrow when these players go. Did it finish 0-0, Mackie, yesterday? I saw it was with about 15 to go. Hadland has left. Kelty's left. Nichols has left. Reed is going to Emily. Porter's left. We can't get these other deals done, though. Maybe the lad from Dover is one we have to go for. I did want proper upgrades in there, but the value's too much. Bonnyrigg scored late, so if we'd scored 4-4, would have finished bottom. Wow. That would have been a turn up for the books, wouldn't it? Cambridge is our first game in a couple of weeks. The one thing that really disappoints me here is that we've not got a good youth player. You normally get one when you're going through. I mean, I say there's no good, but they're almost as good as the players we've got. Both Warren and Dewberry. So maybe we could promote one of them. Keep an eye on the hoardings. Make sure we're not out of bounds with any of them. I want to put myself in charge as well. So, handle player contracts, hire and fire employees. I don't want to do the training. I don't want to do the treatment, but I do want to do stadium building and sponsorship. So that's going to come to me. Can we negotiate with any of these yet? Not quite. We've had to put it on the back burner while we focus on transfers. Can't see Bonnyrigg beating Hill to Kilbride. That would have been a big shout though if Forfar went down there. Norfolk for Lidl, he's a first teamer, he's going nowhere. So now, right, we've got 3,100 available. So we can get in probably a third player as well then. And we've got $1 million in the bank, which is crucial. There's a guy from where I'm from, plays this on TikTok, doing a lead save on LMA 07. Yeah, so I've got, I can't remember if it's 07 or 8 the last one. No, it will be 07. It's the one where Danny North's a wonder kid at Grimsby. The only problem with LMA 07, you used to have to remember, I can't remember the exact glitch, but you used to have to remember to, like, if you had a pending contract offer, to save it the day before the season ticked over, because there was then a big problem and it used to either reset or mark them as out of contract or something stupid, or put them on massive money. I can't remember what it was. I think it was something to do with wages. It put them on like 10 times the amount. But otherwise, again, brilliant game. Be interesting if Brora Rangers made it to League 2. They're quite often doing FM, don't they? Keeping an eye on those defensive offers. Maybe a slow start here. We will take our break in a sec, just so you don't all get hit with ads in the second half as well. We'll see if we can get a deal done. Wainwright's going nowhere. Clark out for 7 days. Not what we needed, because we have got next to no cover anywhere here. And obviously, for those of you that didn't see, Guiseley have been reinstated to the playoff final tomorrow, which could be good fun. But unfortunately, it clashes with Leeds title parade, so travelling from here is basically impossible. Rundle, 35 grand, we'll take it. Jansen's rejected your contract terms. We're getting to the point now for these two young players where it's not actually worth it. I'm going to offer a man of the match. That's normally what I do. Because in that case, you don't have to give it out very often. Yeah, absolutely. We've got our player on loan. Right, I can't turn that down. For less than £1,000 a week, we're going to be able to bring in a quality player. Never heard of him. He's from a different part of the world. But that was the beauty of LMA. You found weird and wonderful players, didn't you? There are not enough players in your team. Oh, because of the Clark injury. It's a shame that other lad didn't come in time, really, isn't it? So for this game, who's going to go left of midfield? So we can either put Convery out there, or what we're probably going to do is bring Clark in up... bring the other Clark in up front, put Conlon out to the left wing, and put Naylor alongside Clark. And then the fifth sub can be Campbell. I probably need to promote a keeper from the youth team as well, don't I? Right, let's not watch this one. But this was your quick option as well, which was always nice. Oh, 203 was the season after Sterling's worst ever season, when we were a missed penalty away from finishing bottom of the division. Wow. We did have a look at the Scottish pyramids at the start of this stream. Saw you were in the 4th tier. As we prepare for our nationwide Division 3 season, what was the result? It was 2-1 at Darlington. An own goal and a Clark goal. At least they're all in the first half, so we can have a look at the highlights if we want, can't we? I've still forgotten to change the highlight settings, but we'll come back to that at some point. I'll remember it for tomorrow's stream. And a reminder as well for the bank holiday tomorrow, we will be live 10 AM. You can come and get involved in the chat there. We'll be talking a bit more snooker, I think, in that one.
Some of the action from today's game, describing the events. Here's Alan.
Apologies for interrupting Gary there.
So, to the highlights from today's match.
The first goal was about 7 minutes in, wasn't it? So we can watch these. Oh, there you go. Looked like he put that in the top corner rather than an accidental deflection.
Continued here He reads it well here.
That second goal was 27 minutes, so we can skip that one.
Gets the ball down with his head. Midway through the half. We pick it up again.
What a finish, Rob. Absolutely.
He does well to get the ball here.
FM classic. On the rebound. Great poaching play, that.
Looking comfortable now.
When I played, I was like, play one more game, need to get to bed, work. Then 2 hours, I was still playing it. Yeah. The amount of school nights. Used to sneak up and then play another hour or so.
Terrific goal. That's 2-1.
And they're all the goals for the game. Brilliant, brilliant game, this. So it was just so simple and effective. And I love the interface, which just meant I played it for hours. There weren't any other results, were there? A couple in France, but that was it. Right, while that's loading up, we're going to go and take our quick break. We'll be back in 3 minutes with a drink. And ready and fresh for another couple of sign-ins. We'll be meeting our first one we just bought in as well. So stick with us. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Because it looks like we've got a few more things to get through. See you in a second. And we're back. Thank you for sticking with us. Paint is stick on like Liam. That is the idea of paint, in fairness to it. I've just got tangled up here, bear with. Just realised Madison is Neil Madison from Middlesbrough, was a decent player, yeah. Neil Wainwright was the one who went to Sunderland early in his career. Struggled with being a wonder kid as such. And in honour of my Scottish folk today, not only have I got Iron Brew, I've got extra Iron Brew. I'm available if you want to sponsor me, folks. Thought we'd do it properly today. Wasn't professional enough to open the can off camera, though. Commiserations. We deserved it, Dan. We deserved it. There's no arguments yesterday. If you turn up for the biggest game of the season and you can see 5 against a team that barely score, you don't have a right, do you? Your attempt to loan jobs on the shortlist is no desire to play for the club. You, so-and-so. Oh, you behave, Liam. Right, so we have managed to get Sasansky, who we need to give credit for actually playing for us. He's 17, but this is what we mean about an upgrade here. To talk about the difference in quality, I've no idea who we drop out of McGurk and Valentine. I'd probably take McGurk out because he's slower, but look at this for an upgrade. Are you ready? There we go. That is a change of quality, isn't it? Oh, no, it's incredible, Macca, isn't it? An absolutely incredible stat. So once we've got Clark back, if we just do it quickly there, to be fair, that probably doesn't improve the quality much, does it? Because he's actually weaker than the starting strikers or the sub-strikers. None of the youth players improving. Have you had the same shift up there, Macca? I know Scotland's not really a health-conscious nation, but like in England, there's been a big shift, obviously, since the sugar tax from full sugar Coke to like Coke Zero. Do you have the same up there, or is it still just full iron brew? That's the life, and that's what we're going for. We'll promote the keeper before the first game of the season, but we've now got to go and find more players. We've still got £2,000 of budget available. Now, the thing is, these guys are going to be cheaper on the wages if we can get the deals done, but they're also far more expensive on the transfer front. So it does sort of mix up. Lee Bell was transfer listed, and if he still is, we're going to go for him. Oh, did they make the change, did they, Macca? Fair enough. I thought they would have dug their heels in like Coca-Cola did down here. Because obviously the only one I can think of down here that did that became pretty unpopular was Lucasade. But then that made a huge difference to the taste because the whole point of it was that it was sold as a glucose boost. Transfer listed 4-star division. Was it 2 crew were in? Yeah, Lee Bell is transfer listed still. I mean, to be fair, I can sign Bell and DeVos, which would then give me a decent team. I never liked Lucasade, but I did like the orange version. See, I was one of the few. Most people would agree with you on that. I used to love the original. I still think the original tastes all right, but the orange one was just destroyed by the change of recipe. There's good goalkeepers available, but we don't really need that. There are a couple of defenders. So there's an 18-year-old there on £1,000 a week. At Shinik Yaroslav. I feel like it's worth a go. There's a couple of good defenders there. So Bedskin and Marin Cow. Are there any midfielders about at that part? Again, we're pushing into difficult wage territory there. Robes was the only one, wasn't he? I guess we can go for Kellerman. I always used to like Tony Dinning in this game. I don't know if you remember him. He used to be quality. Lucasade Sport was good. Yeah, I didn't mind Lucasade Sport. I would always go for original Lucasade first, though. So instead of transfer listed, shall we just go for all players? Maybe even in Division 3, a 5-star. See what we can find. Let's set the ages again, because otherwise we're going to be here all day. Right, I don't think we can afford Elliot. Paul Morgan at Lincoln, 410 grand is possibly affordable. You've got Carl Fletcher at Bournemouth. Ruben Hazel. Now, here's a player I definitely had in the save I did off camera. I might have signed him to replace Lidl a year or two in. Why is he so good? Waterman, the right back. He's nearly 6. We'll list him. Liam George. Nope, we're not doing that. He never passes the ball. I'm a Luton fan, trust me, I know that. We'll put Carl Fletcher on there as well. In Carlisle, Tessafe Bramble, my God. Let's do the 21 to 30-year-olds as well. So basically, Macca, I always used to pick Darlington. They had these two players at the start. Madison's a good pro, but I used to have Neil Wainwright, who was the best player in the league. The rest of the team was crap, but he was the best player in the league. He was a brilliant wonder kid. I used to always side him as Luton when I was a kid. And then I just skipped out the middle block and went to Darlington. We ended up interviewing him on the podcast where he talked probably at a far lower level than like a Freddie Adu and a Cherno Samba, but talks about the pressures of being a wonder kid. When he went to Sunderland, he really struggled with the expectation of being this like player from the lower leagues who was going to be a superstar. And he struggled with the expectation. He talked quite openly about it to us. And then he went into youth coaching to help players in the future with it as well. So I always just liked the club mainly for him. And then ended up going there as the result. So that was the reason. Nothing more to it than that. Any other defenders? Austin's not bad. The Unsworth. He's pretty good. I did want younger ones if we could. I think there's some positions where we're not going to get that option. Where's Tony Dinning? There he is. Absolutely love that man. The chat isn't updating on the main screen. It always does that. Bear with me. We'll come back. It should work now. It started happening recently. I don't know if it was an update to the streaming software in the last month or so, but it's happened quite a lot in recent streams. Still 2 transfer listed players we've not got an offer for. There you go. It's always after the ads, Macca, after the break. I'm just working out. So that would be 280 quid off the wage bill, which would give us about 2,400. Hoardings, when do they run out? 1 week. 1 week and we get to do our first hoardings. I used to love this bit so much. Then we can get going with the stadium improvements later in the year as well. Manager rating's still all right at the minute. Supporters are happy with us. Not really sure why, but we'll take it. Smooth Radio's counting down the top 500 songs of all time. Well, that's not going to cause any arguments anywhere, is it? Margate are really starting to annoy me now, outbidding me by 10 grand every single week. Surely that'll be the top 500 smooth songs of all time. The board have gone mental in your Truro save, Rob. They keep increasing the staff capacity. Oh, didn't expect that to be accepted. They keep increasing the staff capacity, and now we have 18 coaches and 26 scouts. That's incredible. I know Hartness is 31, but he's a proper player. If we want to focus on just going up this year. 800 quid a week. That's where he's got me. 4-year deal for a 31-year-old. Be careful. You can have a man of the match award because you're not going to get it that often. Smooth Radio's opinion on that will be slightly different from mine. Yeah, I think that might be the case as well. I'm not really a Smooth Radio man. Albion Rovers. These are all lower offers than we had before. Campbell's off to Whitehill Welfare. Janssen. These two, I'm done with them. See you later, lads. And that says it all, absolutely. Gonna keep looking at the loan listed. That's a new player there. Another 17-year-old defender. I know it's not ideal and the type of players we want to go for, but if we can just get loans for this year and do it short term, that'd be great. No worries, Liam. Thank you very much for popping in. I hope you have a good rest of the Sunday. Enjoy the snooker final later. That's the main thing. Who do you think wins? Those of you who are watching it as well. Williams or Zintong? I didn't get tickets this morning either. I was so annoyed. I'd sort of got a bit complacent after last year and just assumed it was that easy to get tickets. But I must have just had a lucky spell because it was really hard this morning. And the sessions were gone when I went to look. But I guess we are in the luxury position now that we can look last minute for any resales and that because we're around the corner from it. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be another Crucible trip next year. I'll have to focus on the UK and York. Just having a quick nose every sort of half an hour or so, but even like the Monday morning was pretty much sold out. Which is a shame. Just lots of premium seats available. Hart says in Tong, Head says Williams. Oh, see, I'm the opposite way round to that, Macca. I'm really the opposite. I'd love Mark Williams to win it. I think I think probably because, like, with the situation with O'Sullivan and Higgins, that class 92, I always felt he was the one who sort of got left out because he had a couple of difficult years in the times as well. But I just think if he could go level with Higgins on 4, I think that would be just in a way. And to get to the final at 50 with basically no eyesight is some achievement. And the way he played, the 2 sessions yesterday, like where he should be the one starting to falter after a long tournament, getting on a bit. And his long potting, his individual long potting yesterday is the best in the tournament. Probably better than that session with Brissell. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I kind of hope Williams wins it, but I think Zhao Xintong will now. And it's interesting because a few of you called it. You were one of them who said he's got a chance of winning this. I thought he'd get to the semi and crumble, and boy, was I wrong on that. But then I thought Luton might stay up yesterday, so you know. Tells you a lot about my predictions. I did beat Benjamin Bloom overall in the championship predictions, though, so maybe I'll be able to nab Sam Parkin for our channel. Till he finds out I'm a Luton fan. Lee Bell, you've not asked for £2,500 a week. You haven't. You haven't. Oh my God. Right, cancel that offer. That's why you have to sign the non-league players. I think as we saw with the Ronnie O'Sullivan semi-final, if Zhao Xintong runs into a lead, he's not going to falter. If Williams can tie him down early doors, put him in clever positions, force him into mistakes and get a slight advantage, I think you might see nerves for the first time then. We're about to reach the final friendly of pre-season, I think. Offer for Hodgson. I mean, he is a backup striker for us, but it's not a deal I'm going to accept at this point. Harkness has rejected our contract terms. It's because I've not offered him a long enough contract. I mean, we'll still be able to sell him next year at 32, won't we? Offer accepted for DeVos. I mean, it's a big wage contribution, but he's only 28, so that's not so bad. 1,350 leaves us £1,000 a week. Today we go to Emily. Thank you everyone who's joined along as well. Good to have you here. We will be back tomorrow to do the same thing. So because Clark is back, how fit is he? Fitness is, you can see from the bottom here. I don't really know how to point it out, so I can't do it on the screen. But the bottom attributes on the right-hand side, the stamina and fitness, you can see he's just a little bit off on those at the minute. So given everyone else is fit, I think we'll just put him back on the bench today. And then we can beef out the squad a bit later. But Emily, we should beat in pre-season. Such a good player to watch. Yeah, Bin Tao's also a huge deficit in that, because he was already Masters champion, you know? Those two were wrong course. They probably could have been playing world finals against each other now. Bin Tao wasn't quite as good to watch. He was a bit more of probably an all-rounder, like a sort of John Higgins type, but just such a shame. Lian Wenbo, I can't remember who the other one was. There was another one who got a life ban as well, wasn't there? Picking on the youngsters in lockdown. Absolute disgrace. Anyway, results. 1-0 win for Darlington. We won't watch the highlight of this one because there you go. Lee Hang, there you go. I really want them to make another snooker video game as well. I was desperate for that. I thought it would happen this year with the Riyadh season thing and they'd fit in the calendar and that, but doesn't appear to be the case. But obviously Yan Bin Tao's ban ends in a couple of years, 2027. So he'll still have time because he's younger, isn't he? He was only 19 when he won the Masters. So what will he be now? 25? 26 when he gets back? So he'll have a chance as well. Randall's off to Elgin. Offer rejected for Petty. And Neil Wainwright's improving. That's what we want to hear. I'm not sure he should be allowed back. Well, I've read quite a bit into the Bintal one, and he wasn't one of the two main instigators. Obviously, you got the lifetime ban, but I am surprised he only got 5 years, because when you look at what he did in terms of his actual offences, forget about the fact he was influenced, his actual offences aren't that far off what Stephen Lee did, and he got 12 years, didn't he? So I'm surprised. And actually, if you look at Bintal, he's got a longer ban in China than he has from the World Snooker Tour. They've given him an extra like 6 months or something on top of it. But yeah, I thought it would be a couple more years for him. But there's obviously a few others that are going to be back soon as well, isn't there? Lu Ning got a shorter ban. I can't remember the other one. But there's a couple coming back in the next year. We should have Hoardings to do now, should we not? Yes, we have. Right. We have got 8 Hoardings available. And this is where you have to be a good mathematician, which is why these games are good. Because you have to work out how much per Hoarding you're getting. So 2 for 300 of Burger King, which is, what, 150 each. And then you've also got the, do I sign a really long contract one? And if I get promoted, miss out on potential income, or vice versa. So 6 there at 960 is better. 4 at 680, that's better as well. So TVR's in pole position at the minute. Again, another company I don't think exists now, is it? That's 170 per Hoarding. That's 160. That's 160. 180 per Hoarding for Mitre. It is mad, isn't it, Macca? Real logos, real everything. Welcome back, Liam. So 180 for Mitre, 160 for Vauxhall, 170 for Codemasters. Same for them. They're less, they're less, they're less. Oh, 210 from Hoodoo Studio. That's a whopper. And 200 from Hella. Right then. Hoodoo Studio, you're going first. Oh, TVR does still exist. I thought they'd gone, to be honest with you. Who's the 200? It was Hella, wasn't it? There we go. So now we've got 2 left. It's easy to work out from here. The 360, I think, will be our highest. Absolutely. So, Mitre, you can have the last 2 slots. I didn't, Liam. I didn't replace him in the end. I've kept it for myself. Madison, we're going to add in... He only wants 1 year added there, but we'll add a man and a match bonus of 500 quid. Yorkie, it's not for girls. Oh, those were the days, weren't they? Used to sponsor Soccer AM, I remember it. So we've got the loan offer in at the moment for Ismailov. So of the players, Mihailov, sorry. So that's the loan offer we've got in. DeVos is a transfer offer. Harkness is a transfer offer who's better but 31. Midfielder's the problem. A genuine problem. I think I might have to go in and try and loan these kids. You can't loan from the shortlist screen. Always the one little thing that used to annoy me. So let's loan list. Centre mids. Iron Brew adverts are pretty good. We get quite a lot of them up here now. You see more up here than you do in the south. So Robert's rejected us already. Where are the players that we listed before? Is that Salifu who went to Villa? God, it is as well. Right, let's go down to 4-star then. He's not far off on a grand a week. Neither's he. Well, have a look at Zane. Centre mid and right mid there. Centre mid there. I thought there was one other we looked at a minute ago. I would like one of the versatile ones, ideally. a bit of a pain, this. I didn't think it would be so hard. I might just have a quick look at transfer listed once more. Phil Parkinson at Reading. Zikov, again, the older boys are always going to be on bigger wages, which is the problem. And now we're getting up to higher transfer values. Superbi, 33-year-old at Lecce. Ibrahim Bayet. Is that the former Liverpool player Steve Hartness? I'd imagine so if he's at Chester Macca. Catching him at the back end of the career. Come on, we've got 5 days to get it done. And then we'll play the first league game before we go. Plymouth have withdrawn their offer. Jason DeVos has agreed to join. I don't think his name was Jason. I think I might have just made that up as I've gone along. So do I go... This is what we've got to make the decision on now. Do I go for the player who is not quite as good, but will be our permanent player? Or do I go for the one who's going to be a loan player, but slightly better? Or do I wait and see if I can get Harkness? Because he's better, but he's 31. 360 grand, 280. I can't remember how much wage I offered DeVos as well. I think that would stop me getting the midfielder. I might just delay it a couple of days. I think you can go up to a week before it disappears. So Mihailov has agreed to join on loan now. I've got a big decision to make. I'm going to lose 50 quid a week here as well. Oh yeah, Macca, a week tomorrow you're in London. I'll be there a week today, watching non-league finals day. The first 10 pubs scouted for Monday. God, that is going to be a tough week for you. What day do you start flagging? That's the question. Right, it's decision day. Zane doesn't want to play for us. We're struggling to get midfielders. McGurk's out for 6 days. I've got to sign one of these. How much was the Mihailov loan, wage-wise? I think it was about 1-2, wasn't it? Tuesday, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. That stops us having to look again next season. They're both improvements on what we've got. But DeVos does make midfield a problem. And really, I want Harkness. If we're getting down to the crux of it here. Oliver, welcome in. How are things? We've got to go on Copenhagen watch now, haven't we? How are Copenhagen getting on? We looked a few weeks ago after they were beaten by Midtjylland. Top by a point. Oh, that is... Oh, it's a big week as well, isn't it? Bromby away today, first v third. Cup semi-final against Viborg, second leg on Thursday. And then Midtjylland at home next Sunday. Wow. Huge week. Full breakfast at Cafe Paolo in Acton has been my bucket list for years. Probably a thing I'm most looking forward to. Lovely. We're off for recovery in about an hour, so. Haven't felt better than I do currently. Oh, that's great. Good to hear you're feeling well. I'm kind of stuck at a decision here. What do we do? What would you do? Permanent DeVos. Wait for Harkness. Or loan of Mihailov. Nervous for the match later on. I'm not surprised. Obviously, Oliver, you're in a better position than we are. Let's put it that way. Double relegations are not fun. I genuinely have no idea what to do here. If I don't accept one of them, I'm not going to have a player tomorrow. Do I risk having a worse team for one game? I think I might. And let's just hope that Harkness says yes tomorrow. Solves all the problems. Not going to happen, is it? Madison's not leaving. Madison is still not leaving. Liddell's not leaving. Not happening. It is happening. Harkness agrees to join the club. In you come. None of you. None of you. So we got relegated from the Premier League last year, Oliver, and then we got relegated again. It was just naivety, complacency. So many things gone wrong off the pitch. Yeah, decent players, but obviously a lot of injuries, but still a lot of problems. Poor performances, too many changes of style too quickly. And I think if you remember when we went up to the Premier League last year, everyone sort of accused us of building a team to win the Championship the year after, and maybe a lot of them believed the hype. I don't know. But ultimately yesterday was the most worrying, because when you need to turn up for a big game to finish the season, to crumble in the way we did, the lack of intensity, the lack of effort. I said it when we went to Hull, that away game, that we somehow won 1-0. The lack of vigour in the warm-up was worrying. There's got to be a huge clear out. And you do probably have to ask a question of the manager now. If you turn up for a game that big and that's the performance you can produce, it is a worry. But it'll be a huge turnover now. Yeah, Dan, prior to yesterday, I would have said no regardless. But it worries me. Because if that's how you motivate your team for the biggest game you've got, you do have to question, is this the manager who's going to be able to get us into a battle next year at the top? Yeah, it's a strange situation, but it does mean that Luton will be a great FM save, 2 editions in a row, eh? Will we be the first ever team to legitimately move 2 divisions between FM releases? Because all the other ones would have been from demotions and that, wouldn't it? We have got... Oh, so Harkness isn't going to be in time, is he? Right, let's go and get into this game. This will be our final one of the stream, but our first competitive league game here. History makers in that way, yeah. It does mean we can do a Luton save next year on stream as well. I've been intrigued to see what squad and what mix of wages we've got at that point. Just check there were no more hoardings or anything that needed doing. No, we're okay at the minute. Cambridge United away from home. We're going to have a stronger squad when we get to the next game, but for now, can we find a way of sneaking a result? Rob DeVos played for Darlington too, did he? I did not know that. Also missed that message somehow. Macro, I wish the Danish League was on TV here. Yeah, me too. There was a year, wasn't there, where they showed a few games on one of the app services, but not to be anymore. Ian Clark is back to full fitness. He is in for Clark. Conlon will go back up front. And obviously Valentine will be out in the next game for Harkness. We'll put them that way round because Harkness is going to be on the left of the 2 when he comes in. And then it's just Ford really to try and replace, which we can do through the season if we can. McGurk would have made the bench stronger, but next game we'll have an extra defender in, so we'll be all right. Let's go through. We'll skip it and watch the highlights. Should we watch the highlights before looking at the result? Because I don't think it gives it away, does it? Oh, Cambridge have got Dave Kitson up front. Now we are talking. Scully in midfield and Dave Kitson up top. The glory days of football. Right, I'm going to try and go straight into the highlights without spoiling the game, because I'm pretty sure that was the intention of it. Have a look. Yep, so we won't see the scores. People are probably blinded by the fact Luton played Premier League last season and tend to forget it was a massive overachievement. Yeah, I mean, in terms of size of the club, we are probably a Division 2 team, or a League 1 team as it is now. Here we are then, English Division 3, now League 2. Let's see the highlights. We have no idea what the score was. This is the way we're doing it. And Cambridge on the attack, first highlight. Over to Alan Hansen.
Accurate. Here, the keeper's not really.
Good save.
So, the next
Armin won.
lobs
Yep,
it
what a
over.
player. Oh, he's been robbed.
Good delivery. Could have gone in the back of the net.
It was nowhere near Alan. Come on, behave.
We pick it up here midway through the first half. Quality goalkeeping.
Nice having Alan Hansen do the highlight commentary for you.
Nice anticipation. Great vision and
I mentioned this a bit earlier, like 20 years on, used to get cup draws read out here. What's that? It's not a highlight. Used to have cup draws read out, used to have highlights with commentary.
well struck from the spot.
What was the penalty for?
Roses in front. Good flick.
Yeah, it is, Oliver. I think the summer ultimately cost us, but
Quality ball.
we've got to bounce back next year, or it could be a long old struggle before the new stadium.
And the action
Be interested to see how much the season ticket prices change, because I'm not paying 470. No, Macca, so you've got this one, you've got this one. Stadium corner, goal cam,
the keeper.
ball cam, or main stands.
Here we are, later in the game.
Four camera angles. Got ball cam, there you go. That's probably the best one.
Intercepts the ball well here.
Shoot!
The save is
Oh,
great.
great save.
Top draw.
I think we're going to lose 1-0. Or are we? Oh, woodwork!
And it remains in play.
Oh, last minute off the woodwork.
Just minutes remaining. Delivers a quality
Another corner though. Chance to equalise. Oh, it's off the line. You're kidding me.
good effort.
We lose 1-0, but we had some big chances at the end of that.
Single goal.
Can we see how the rest of the EFL season started? Have a look at the results across the division. Hull City are the favourites. 4-0. Stephen Elliott's too good for this level. Shrewsbury and Swansea got 3 apiece as well. Luton Town beat Peterborough 1-0. Tony Thorpe with the penalty. And we need to have a look at our match ratings actually. So, weakest defender was Liddell, probably gave away the pen. But no real standout performers so far. The cup draws, yeah, Ray Stubbs reading them out. Brilliant fun. We should get one soon for the cup. I've set to include the ones for our teams. I wonder how much they had to pay him back before the days of AI to read out every team name in the game for the cup draws. Right, Harkness has joined. The centre midfielder still doesn't want to join on loan, so that seems to be where we have to prioritise now. So Harkness, look at this for an improvement again. Massively changes the quality of the team. So now, if we can just get in a centre mid for Ford, I think we're in a pretty competitive position. At the moment, I don't think we have any deals on the go, do we? So I have to try and either sign Dave from Dover, one of these boys from Chester or Doncaster, which we've got the money for now. Do I try and go for a Carl Fletcher at Bournemouth? Or one of the other loan options like Kellerman that we looked at? Who have you got winning the 3 European Cups? I want to say PSG, but I still think Barca might win the Champions League. But I think it'll be a Barca PSG final, despite the Inter competitiveness in the first leg. Europa League, who knows? If that ends up being a United Spurs final, genuinely, who knows? Probably United, weirdly. You can't back Spurs to win a cup final, can you? Although Ange does always win something second season, it'll be very smug if he does there. And then Europa Conference, it's hard to look past Chelsea. But I still wouldn't be completely shocked if they lost the final. We have got enough for that loan deal. So we'll try Kakalov. Let's try transfer listed as well. Gillingham have got Saunders, but he's 31. Garcia at Kilmarnock. Again, we're getting to the top end financially there. Lovell from Livingston. Yeah, Bodo at home, always a chance. That goal probably changes it. You think Arsenal win it still, Rob? You think Arsenal get past PSG? There'll be a lot of pressure on Arteta if he goes out this week, won't there? It'll be an interesting one. Let's look at non-league players. So the options are Carey from Chester, Morgan from Doncaster, Niven from Barnet, or McMahon at Stevenage. Now, he looks pretty good, doesn't he? But again, can we afford him? That's the question. Morgan won't be sold by Doncaster. Niven and Carey are the two that remain. Didn't mean to scout him. Right. I'm going to have a look at Division 3 as well, just in case there's any rival players we can nick. Fletcher was one that popped up. I'll try him. They're a bit older. And that's probably all we can do. I'm saying Inter for the Champions League, United for the Europa League, and Chelsea for the Conference, yeah. To be honest, it would be, I mentioned it this year, the top 8 of the Europa League, the fact that United, Rangers and Spurs all sort of waltzed through, given how poor they are, did really worry me, I have to admit. I hate how hard it is to sort contracts here. Fiorentina wouldn't shock me. To be honest, none of the Europa Conference League would shock me. I pray no English team wins. I think it'd be unlikely that none of them win. I think the Europa League, we're probably going to get an all-English final. All the more reason I can't sell Maddison now, given that we can't get people in. It's Darlington Swansea. I think we're going to leave it there because I need to find a centre midfielder. I need to go properly hunting. But I'm delighted to be back on this game and I hope we can have a long and successful spell. We've signed 2 centre-halves. We just need a midfielder and then we can start to push on in this big season. But you can see at the bottom already, fitness starting to become a struggle and we're only a game in. It's going to be a long old time. However, I'm delighted to be back with it. We will return tomorrow morning with more LMA Manager 2003. Thank you so much, everyone getting involved, all of the chatters. I love the football and snooker chat on a Sunday morning. We'll obviously talk about the first half of the final tomorrow, and we'll keep up to date with the football as well. But for now, let's go and find somebody to raid. I'd imagine a few of the people we're following will be playing Football Manager rather than this. There's not really many people live today, are there? So let's go and see who's playing Football Manager, and then we'll work it out from there. But thank you so much all for being here. Rob, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Just as we're about to finish off, we will go over to Good Snark is playing Football Manager. Journeyman save, and they're at Manchester United. Let's see if they've improved in that save. We'll go and say hello. But for now, thank you very much for spending your morning with me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And we'll be back tomorrow. Bank holiday in the UK, 10 a.m. for another live stream. Hopefully, we can look forward to it. And for now, I'll see you there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.